Hello. Hello. Hi guys. Hello. I'm going to give you guys a minute or so to let everybody come, and then we will get started. Good morning. Hello everybody. If you're tuning in this morning wondering what we're doing, it is for the children this morning. It is a play along live, not my usual live. So just to warn you, I will be talking to the children, not to you. Good morning. I'm just taking my rings off. Good morning. Hello everybody. Hello. We're going to get started in a minute. We'll just let everyone join. Have you got a drink? Have you got something to drink? I always have a drink when I do my playing. It's thirsty work, isn't it? It is hard work doing your playing. Good morning. Could you give me a thumbs up if you have children watching with you this morning? Good morning. I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes. Could I get a thumbs up or something if you're watching with children? Brilliant. Thank you. Okay. Oh, we've got lots of boys and girls watching today. That's really exciting. Great. Good to have you here. Facebook. Who's on Facebook today? I can't see you. Could you give me a thumbs up? Could you give me an emoji? Could you give me something so I can see that you're there? Good morning. All right then. Right, so we're going to get started. I'm just going to quickly say for the grown-ups that today is a play along live, which means this is for the children. So I am going to start in a moment for the children, okay? Don't panic if you don't have everything ready. You will have time. You will have time to get bits and pieces, okay? And hopefully I can entertain the children for you. So I hope you have a cuppa to hand so you can relax. And we're going to get started. Right. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Hello. Thank you for coming to play with me today. I'm Claire, and I love to play. What's your name? What a wonderful name. I like your name. Thank you for telling me. Do you like playing? You do? Would you like to play with me today? Fantastic. That's great. We're going to have so much fun. So I hope you're all ready. I'm going to tell you what we need. But before we start, we need to say hello to everybody, don't we? So could you say hello to me? Hello. Could you give me a wave? Could you give me a big wave? I like it. Could you give me a wave with two hands? Oh, great big wave. I love it. And then can you give me a tiny little wave? Oh, tiny little wave. Hello, hello. Can you turn and say, give your grown-up a wave and say hello? Oh, brilliant. Well done. And then we've got lots of boys and girls watching today. So can we say hello to everybody? And we say, hello, everybody. Yes. Quick. Okay, go on then, darling. No, darling, it's my video. You need to go. Sorry, boys and girls. My little boy is here and always wants to talk to me when I'm on video. So we're going to get started now. That was a lovely warm-up, wasn't it?
I want a little one.
What?
And then...
Thanks, I'm going to get it across. If you need to, I am on video. I am on video now. Go to the toilet. Sorry, everybody. Sorry about that. I am a mummy as well, so I do have my little boy here, but I will try my best to be able to continue. Okay, so thank you very much for saying good morning to me. Now then, can you see? Can you see what colour jumper I'm wearing? What colour is my jumper? It's yellow, that's right. My little boy's shouting from the bathroom that it's a yellow jumper. Can you look down and see what colours you're wearing today? Tell your grown-up what colour you're wearing. What colours can you see on your clothes? Fabulous. I bet we could make a rainbow between all of us, couldn't we, of all the different colours. So I've got a nice bright yellow jumper on this morning. Okay, so we're going to get started, everybody. Now, I'm going to show you all the things that you need for today. I did tell the grown-ups beforehand, but there may be some other bits that you need. But don't panic, because grown-ups, you're going to have time to get things if you don't have them ready, because I'm going to be talking to the boys and girls, all right? So today, for our playing activity, we are going to need some salt. Can you say that? Salt. We're going to need some salt. If you've got it in a shaker, you could give it a little shake and listen to it shake. So we're going to use some salt. And I've also got something in here called flour. Can you say that? Flour. Can you whisper it? Flour. So we've got salt and we've got flour, and then we've got something else, something that we use for washing our hands, something that we use when we go in the bath, something we use for helping us get clean, but also something we use for drinking as well. Do you know what it is? That's right, it's water. So you're going to need some salt, some flour and some water today for our activity. Excuse me one moment. Okay, sorry about that. Seem to need to the bathroom every time I go on video.
Thank you, Mum.
Good boy. Okay, so we've got our salt, we've got our flour, and we've got our water. You're also going to need this. Do you have one of these? Do you know what it is? That's right, it's called a rolling pin. Can you put 2 hands on the rolling pin? Can you pretend to drive the rolling pin? Vroom, vroom. That's right. Good one. Do it again. Vroom, vroom. Cool. Fantastic. So we've got our rolling pin. We're going to need that later. We're also going to need a big bowl for doing some mixing and some spoons, some nice big spoons. So how about grown-ups, if you don't have everything ready? Yes. Grown-ups, if you don't have everything ready, don't panic. Do you want to get this now? Because boys and girls, we need to get our hands ready. We're going to be using our hands for this morning's activity. So should we get our hands ready? Okay, can you show me your hands? Great, that's it. Wiggle those fingers, wiggle those worms. Good, we're going to get them nice and warm because we're going to use our hands. Our hands are so important that we're going to be using them today, so let's get them ready. So first of all, can you give me a wave? Good. Can you give me a tall wave? Good. And bring them back down. And can you give them a shake? Can you shake your hands? Well done. It looks like we're dancing, doesn't it? Cool. Now, can you give me a clap? Ooh, can you clap in a circle? Ooh, well done. Can you go the other way? Yeah, well done. It's nice clapping, isn't it? It makes us feel good. And then finally, it's a bit tricky, this one. Can you give them a flick? Flick, flick, flick. Can you give them a flick? That's it. Your fingers should be feeling nice and warm. And hopefully, your grown-up is sitting next to you and is back and ready and you've got all your things. So we can get started. Now, before we start, because it might get a little bit messy, I'm going to need you to do something. But today, do you think you could try and see if you can do it on your own before your grown-up helps? What we're going to do is we're going to roll up our sleeves. So you can either push your sleeves up and roll them back. Can you see if you can do this on your own? Just have a little go. It's a bit tricky, I know it's a bit tricky, but have a little go on your own. If you can't do it, maybe there's somebody there that can help you and you can say, can you help me please? So if you can't do it, ask somebody to help you, but have a little go first. Have you got them ready? Your arms ready? Because we might get a little bit messy. Good stuff. Well done, everybody. It's really, really exciting. Okay, so I'm going to get my bowl now because we're going to measure in our ingredients because this morning we're making salt dough, which is a little bit like Play-Doh. It's very, very salty. It will be a little bit sticky as well, but once we've made it, we can then use it with our play. All right, So what we're going to start with, the flour. Can you find the flour? Maybe your grown-up can help you find the flour. You're going to get the flour and you're going to get, I forgot to tell you that you needed this, sorry if you don't have one. You're going to need a cup and you're going to need the flour. Okay, I'm just going to move my bowl to the side. I'm going to use the spoon to fill our cup with flour. I'm getting right to the end of my flour, so I'm going to fill really carefully. A grown-up can help you, but I'd really like you to try on your own if you can. So you're going to spoon in the flour until your flour is right to the top, because we need 1 full cup of flour. I'm just about going to make it. How are you getting on? Have you spilt any? It's okay if you do. You just got to try really hard to get it all in the cup. My goodness, I have just about made 1 cup with my last bit of flour. I'm going to shake the last bit in. And you can use your spoon or you can use your finger to flatten out. Pat down the flour on the top. That's it. Do you have 1 full cup of flour? We've got 1 cup of flour. Can you show me 1 with your fingers? Oh, I've got a floury finger. Can you show me your floury fingers? Can you show me 1? Well done. Can you show me 1 thumb? 1 thumb. Can you show me 1 sneeze? Achoo! Well done. Okay, so we're going to really carefully, we're going to pour our flour into our big bowl. You might need to give it a little bit of a tap. Get it all out. Okay. Pop your cup back down. Because this time we're going to need the salt. And we're going to pour in the salt. Can you say it? Salt. Such a brilliant word to say, isn't it? I like the salt and I love pouring salt. Now this time, we're not going to fill the cup all the way. We're going to do it halfway. So I think your grown-up can show you when you need to stop. Because we don't want it all the way to the top. We just want half a cup, grown-ups. Half a cup of salt. So that, pour it out. Does yours look a little bit like, what does it look like? Tell your grown-up what the salt looks like. I think my salt looks a little bit like snow. Yeah. It does look a little bit like snow. It also looks a little bit like sugar, but it doesn't taste like sugar. You won't want to eat this. Ugh. So we're nearly there. How are you getting on? Are you okay? You still squeezing it out? You might be able to spoon yours in, depending on your container. Come on, salt. It's getting a bit, mine's getting a bit stuck. Keep going. Keep going. Can't get the lid off. Just keep going. Bear with me. I bet you've done, have you done yours already? You're still waiting for me? Thank you for waiting. Right. Nearly there. Nearly there with our salt. Right. Oh dear, the lid popped off. Fancy that. Okay, I've got my salt. I'm going to give it a little shake. Give it a little tap on the surface. You can see that your cup should be half full. So it's not right to the top. We've got half a cup. Get your cup of salt and really carefully, can you pour it into the bowl? Pour it. Can you lift it up a little bit? Without spilling it, can you lift it up a little bit and pour it in? A little bit higher? Ooh! It looks like it's raining, doesn't it? That's it. Put it all the way in. Oh, it looks so lovely. Okay. Now the final bit, I'm going to use the water. Now again, we only need half a cup of water. Half a cup of water. Can you say that? Half a cup of water, and we're going to pour it carefully. Now then, I really like it if you could have a go. Grown-ups, you could be there on hand, because I know this might be tricky depending on how much water you've got, but try really carefully, if you can, to pour in your water. Now we're not going to the top, are we? We're going to stop halfway. So we want half a cup of water, really carefully. That's it. Have you done it? Don't worry if you spill a bit, it's absolutely fine. We're all learning, aren't we? And carefully, now this is the bit where I'm just going to move my board. This is where mummies and daddies, you have to remember. This is all new to me, so I'm not as slick as the pros. Okay, so what we're going to do with our water now then, guys, is we're not going to pour it in all at once, because our mixture will get a little bit sticky. We're going to do a little bit at a time. So how about you get your big spoon and you're going to start mixing, and your grown-up is going to pour a little bit of water in, and then you're going to mix, and then you're going to do another bit of water, and then you're going to mix. Can you have a go? So let's give it a first mix. There we go. And then let's put in a little bit of water, not too much. Let's try it again. Give it a stir. So it's starting to get sticky and all blubbly and gloopy. Not yet, mine's still a little bit powdery. Is yours a bit powdery? Yeah. Okay, can you get your cup of water? Can you pour in a little bit more? That's it, not too much. Don't do too much. And let's give it another mix. Oh, it's getting really sticky now. And what do you think? Is it looking like Play-Doh yet? No, mine's not either. Mine's still a bit crumbly. Can you say crumbly? Yeah, mine's a little bit crumbly too. I'm going to pour in some more water. Now then, it does say the guidelines are half a cup. It normally is half a cup. But you never know, you might just need a tiny bit more. So let's just see how we get on. Oh, it's starting to stick together. Is yours starting to get a bit sticky? Yeah. You say sticky. Sticky. Yeah. Such a great word, isn't it? Oh, my arms are getting tired from trying to mix it. How about you? Is your arm getting tired? Is it? Why don't you swap over? Why don't you try? Can you try the spoon in the other hand? Does it feel funny or do you like it? Some people like swapping their spoon. I find it really hard, actually. Right, I'm going to swap over again. Now, don't rush if you're still mixing your salt dough. We've got plenty of time, guys, so don't rush at all. I'm going to keep going because I can't be on Instagram all morning, funny enough. Mine's starting to come together and starting to look a bit like Play-Doh. I've made a bit of a ball. Is yours looking like that? If it's not, you can maybe add a little bit more water, or if it's gone too sticky, maybe add in a little sprinkling of flour. Okay, so mine's about done, I think. I'm just going to test it. And I was going to do a sprinkling of flour on the surface, but I haven't got much flour left. I haven't got much flour left at all, but it's fine. So I've got my big lump of salt dough now. Is yours starting to look a little bit like that? Is it? How does it feel? Have a feel. Tell your grown-up how your salt dough feels. Does it feel sticky? Yeah, mine feels a little bit sticky. Does it feel cold? Mine's a little bit cold. That's it. Okay. Mine's starting to look a little bit smooth. You trying it? Smooth. Yeah, hi Leanne, you can join us on catch up if you've missed. Don't worry, it will all be saved. So mine's looking like a bit of a ball now. How's yours looking? If you're still mixing, please don't worry. Like I said, we've got plenty of time. Get it to the right consistency, because then you can use it properly. If it's a little bit too sticky, add a little bit more flour. If it's still a little bit dry, just keep sprinkling it with water until you get there. Okay, I'm going to carry on. But if you're still making your mixture, please don't worry. All right, so we got our hands ready, didn't we? We rolled our sleeves up and we warmed up our hands, because this is the fun bit. This is where we're going to use our salt dough for lots of different things. Now then, grown-ups, we are going to use our salt dough first of all, just like we can do with Play-Doh, for doing some little exercises with our fingers and our hands. But then also we're going to use it to make something as well. Okay, so before we start making, I'm going to pull off. Can you have a go? Pull off a big lump. Ugh, you got one? You got a nice big lump? We're going to put the other bit to the side. And now I've got a nice lump of Play-Doh. How big is your lump of Play-Doh? What does it look like? Mine looks like probably about an orange or an apple. What does yours look like? Yeah? Oh, cool. Okay, so I'm going to actually make it mine a little bit smaller. Right then. So, what we're going to do, put your little ball of Play-Doh on the thing, and we're going to use our thumbs. We're going to use our thumbs in our salt dough, in our Play-Doh. So, can you get your thumbs ready? That's it. You say hello to your thumbs. Hello, thumbs. That's it. Give them a wiggle. Can your thumbs say hello to each other? Hello, thumb. Hello, thumb. You do it. Hello, thumb. Hello, thumb. They could have a little chat, couldn't they? Well, we're going to use those thumbs this morning because we're going to do something that I really like, and it's called prodding. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our thumbs and we're going to press them into our Play-Doh, and it's going to squash and squish our Play-Doh. That's right. Use your thumbs to prod and squish and squash our Play-Doh. Keep doing it lots and lots, and mummies and grown-ups, we're doing that because our thumbs are really important for later on when we need to hold pens and pencils and use tools and things. So all Play-Doh and climbing and riding bikes and trikes and things is all really good for strengthening those thumbs, and we want to strengthen those thumb muscles. So have you given it a good prod, a good squash and a good squeeze? Oh, I know a good story called Squash and a Squeeze. Right, we've given that a good prod. I'm going to roll it back up again, roll it back into a ball. Okay, and then now we're going to have a little go with our fingers. Now, grown-ups, this is really important that we do exercises with our fingers and using our fingers individually, because we want to strengthen those muscles, because we want to move our support and develop our hand movements from going to this to be able to do this. And that's where doing lots of counting exercises, where it's show me fingers and things like that, is really important. But also with Play-Doh and Salt Dough, we can use it. And we're going to use our first finger, and we're going to do some pointing and prodding. And you can prod it into the Play-Doh, and you can do different marks. And we're going to do it with all our different fingers. So do you want to have a little go? See if you can prod with the different fingers on your hands. I find it really hard to do with my little finger. See how you find it. That's it. Give it a good prod. Give it a good squash. How does it feel? It feels so funny using just my little fingers. And I'm making little marks. That's it. Roll it up again if you need to. Roll it out. And we're going to do just a couple more. Using those fingers. What about your middle finger? Ooh, that feels strange, doesn't it? And then what about that fourth finger? That fourth finger. That's it. So be giving your Play-Doh a good squash and a squeeze. And of course, with the Salt Dough, boys and girls can carry on doing lots of playing and rolling and chopping up and all that sort of stuff, which is really good fun. And that's what's really nice about Salt Dough and Play-Doh and clay and things. All that hand muscle development. So now you've got your big lump of Play-Doh, I'm just going to show you some things that you might want to make with it. And this is why we got our rolling pin. Now, rolling pins are really fantastic because they help our hands too, and it's that gliding movement. And it's also about opening up the hands and using the palm of their hands too. So rolling pins are really lovely for that, for the rolling movement. And I've got some bits in here of things that I've made before that you might like to use. I'm going to show you what I've got. And grown-ups, this is why we've done Salt Dough so early, is that you can do Salt Dough and make some lovely decorations to go on your Christmas tree, because we're getting near Christmas. And if you want to do anything like that, any shapes that you make, we're going to use the rolling pin, and you make the dough nice and thin. You don't want it too thick, otherwise it will take a long time to cook, because you have to bake these on a low heat for at least 4 to 5 hours. So the thicker the dough, the longer it's going to take to bake. So we do want your things to be really thin, but also you can make Salt Dough decorations, and to do that you can make your shapes using your cutters, and then you put in a little hole before you bake them. You might use a pencil or just something sharp and make a little hole so that once you cook them you've got something you can thread on some ribbon. Or something that I've been doing with Mason in the past, these are actually our old ones, if I've made these lots of little people. Now we see lots of little gingerbread men at Christmas, don't we? So I've made some gingerbread men, but I've done them in different sizes, and I've also done them with different numbers of buttons. So for me, I can use these as a resource for counting, and maybe put them in some sort of Christmas sensory box or something like that. So we've got families of people with different number buttons, so we can do lots of matching and lots of sorting. Now these ones are unpainted. I haven't painted these. You can do, and they look really effective, but it just means that you've got, without feeling the need to go out and buy lots of things for doing Christmas, you can actually make your own things. So I've done little gingerbread men, I've also got some little stars that we started to paint. I've still not finished them. Some little stars. And again, you could use these as counters. You can use these as little accessories to go in your sensory boxes, any activities you're doing. So don't feel like you need to go out and buy loads of things. There's actually lots of different things that you can make. And then I'm also going to show you something else that I did, and these work really well for counting songs, is that we did some little cookies. Maybe you want to make some little biscuits and put different numbers of raisins or toppings on the top, and so you can count them, you can order them, and you can play with those, use them for any songs, maybe like 5 currant buns, those sort of things, and you've got them for making. You can make dominoes with them, you can make all sorts of different things. And they can just be really effective. So I thought we'd make them really early before Christmas. So any grown-ups wanting to do some more Christmassy activities without wanting to go and buy loads of things, you can make yourself a whole host of activities, little bits and pieces of different coloured stars to add to a sensory box. Or I've got some hearts as well. Or like I said, these little gingerbread men. So maybe you've got a little cutter there that you can use. And you can roll out your Play-Doh. I keep saying that, don't I? You can roll out your salt dough and use a cutter and cut something out. So, all we need to do for that, I've forgotten my cutter. I've not grabbed it. I have to use that. I'll use the salt dough lid. Okay, so what we're going to do for this bit, right then, are you ready? Have you got a nice big blob? Nice big ball? We're going to slap it down on the table. Oh, that's fun, isn't it? Do you want to try again? You ready? You're going to slap it down on the table. Bang, bang, bang. And then with your rolling pin, get your rolling pin. Should we drive it again? You ready? Do you want to drive your rolling pin? Vroom, vroom. Oh, so much fun, isn't it? Can you roll the rolling pin over your salt dough? That's right, because you want it, grown-ups, you want it quite thin, not too thin, but quite thin. If you can see the thickness of some of the biscuits and things that I've made, keep them quite thin and then they don't have to cook for too long. Once you have done your shapes, we're going to put it, this is where the grown-up will need to help you. We're going to put it in the oven at about, I normally say a low heat. I normally do it at about 100 degrees. And we're looking at a good few hours, and you just have to keep an eye on them. Check that they're not going brown. If they're starting to rise, you need to lower the heat. It's getting too hot and it's actually cooking them. But you just wait until they go nice and hard. They may start to crack slightly on the bottom. And then once you're done, you've actually got yourself another activity there, because then you can use paints, you can use pencils, you can use felt tip pens to decorate them. And then you might just want to varnish them as well with some PVA glue, or if you've got any varnish or anything like that. And it just saves them, and then they're good to go. And you can keep these. I made these last Christmas, so you've got them for ages. And like I said, it just makes a really nice resource. So that's it. So we've rolled it out. Roll, roll, roll. I'm getting distracted talking to the grown-ups and the boys and girls, aren't I? And then use your cutter. I've just got a round one, but actually taken the lid off my salt because I don't have a cutter ready. And you can press it in and you can make some shapes and see what shapes you can make if you've got some cutters. If you don't have any cutters, don't worry. You could just roll some shapes and make some shapes with your fingers. And then if you are going to put them in the oven, pop them on a baking tray and you're ready to go. All right, I hope that's okay. I think we're going to finish there because I'm very conscious I've been on for a long time with lots of boys and girls watching me. So we're going to stop there then, okay? So thank you very much for coming to play with me today. I really look forward to seeing what you've made with your salt dough. It'd be lovely to see if you made any decorations or any shapes or any bits and pieces for Christmas. Maybe your grown-up can take a photo and send it to me so I can see what you've made. Before we finish and before we go, I would like to say a really big well done. Well done. You have done fantastic. And grown-ups, can you turn to the boys and girls and can you say, good job? Can you say that? Good job. Well done. And to all the boys and girls, I think you should give yourself a big round of applause. You have done a great... Have you got sticky fingers? Yeah, I do too. Give yourself a big round of applause. You have done so well today. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for coming to play with me today. It has been really lovely. We will be doing the same, another play along next week, and I will let you know what we get up to. All right. Thank you very much for joining me, guys. Please send me your fan mail, and I will see you soon. Have a lovely day. Happy Friday. Bye. Bye, guys.